Hey, what's up guys? My name is Carlos and I play guitar in Omerta, and this is my rig. Just a little heads up, I don't really treat my instruments with the most respect, so this is the Ibanez RGBI2K. I'm pretty sure I'm mispronouncing that because, you know, whatever. But it's funny because Han and I actually have the exact same guitar, but the only difference with mine is that it's a little bit newer and it doesn't have the kill switch. I also swapped out the pickups. I use bare knuckle War Pigs just because like I love the passive sound, and I do a lot of coil taps, and there's a lot more emphasis on the low end, which is really cool. But yeah, it's a 28-inch scale length. It's a baritone guitar, so it really helps for our tuning. I have a lot of battle scars on this thing, so I guess I'll start with the most obvious. This guy right here. This happened during the Vended tour where I like do this thing where I scissor my body up and down, and then I just rip the entire strap lock out of the socket. So had to get this thing fixed. Never got the fiberglass fixed, but I just think it kind of looks cool because, you know, it's broken in. I'm missing a screw right here, so I kind of have to, you know, eye the, I guess like the tuning, not the tuning, but I guess just like the length in general. But yeah, I mean, it works, and that's the thing too. This actually happened recently. I had a head-on collision with our bassist, and the tuner actually like snapped off like mid-show. Luckily it was the last song, so it didn't really affect it too much. But I just gotta replace with like with a tuner knob that's not a locking tuner. So that's a buck tooth essentially, which is pretty cool. As far as like strings, I use the D'Addario baritone medium, which is gonna be 68 to 14. And we play in drop A sharp. So yeah, that's my guitar. Volume is always gonna be maxed out because, I mean, why would you ever, you know what I'm saying? And then I usually switch between like the bridge and the neck depending what I'm playing. Like typically for leads and for cleans, I'll go to, you know, the neck. For rhythm stuff, I'll go, you know, to the bridge and everything. For specific parts, I love the coil tap sound just because I love like those strat like single coil tones. So I'll like pop this and I'll switch to the middle, and then I'll play like a chord progression and everything just because I like the twang and everything. So yeah. But that's really all I do with the pickup configuration. Just nothing super complicated, but yeah. So this is my pedal board. It's pretty loud and obnoxious, but I guess I'll just go ahead and walk you through everything. I guess starting with the most obvious thing, I have the Boss Chromatic TU3, which is just a regular tuner because you want to be in tune at all times. The only reason why I go with the TU3 is because there is a signal splitter right over here. So I do run this guy, which is the Fortin Zool. Coolest noise gate on the market. Is literally just one knob and you're done. I run it through the front and also the back of the amp as well because mine typically has a lot of background noise, so I just want to be as tight as possible. So I guess we'll just talk through the front of the amp. Tuner, noise gate, obviously the integral part of our rig, which is the Digitech Whammy, just for all of the really obnoxious you know, sounds that you hear. Right after that, we have the the Ricochet, also by Digitech, just for like those super low drop 2 moments that we have in our music as well. Right after that, we are going back up to the Keeley compressor, or Chile. Anyways, I think compressors are really important, especially with my amp settings, which I'll get to in a minute. It just really helps, especially if you're playing live. You know, you're not gonna hit the string as hard as every other stroke and everything, so I feel like that will definitely balance everything out. Now to the fun stuff, we'll go to the distortion stuff. So this goes into this guy, which is a Earthquaker Devices data corruptor. I guess to preface this, I do a lot of the sound design and programming in the band as well. So with that, I do a lot of noise stuff. So I'll press this guy, and then I'll just do whatever on the guitar, and it'll just make a lot of obnoxious noise. Speaking of noise, going into the next pedal, which is this one, which is a exclusive from this company called Fuzzrocious. They collabed with the guitarist of the band called Daughters. Sorry guys. And they essentially made a buzz pedal that has a built-in oscillator. So I'll just twist this knob and then it'll just make like this weird sine wave kind of go up and down. It works really well with the data corruptor as well, as far as, you know, making weird noises, which is what I like to do a lot. So if you see me duck down and do a lot of this. I'm just usually messing with these two pedals and everything. Right after that, we have the Way Hughes Swollen Pickle. It's a really, really amazing fuzz pedal that kind of acts like a HM2, which is super sick. But we hit this at the same time to really emphasize like the really slow and heavy breakdowns and everything. It just makes the guitar sound doubled, almost. We got this idea from Isaac from Knock Loose, who uses the same thing. But yeah, this is a super, super awesome pedal. If you don't have it, I highly recommend playing with it because it's super cool. And then lastly, for the front, we have the Precision Drive by Horizon Devices. This works really, really well with my amp and my amp setting, which once again I'll get to in a minute. But I love this pedal just because it's kind of like a 2-screamer plus. There's a bunch of extra volume that you don't really get from a regular pedal or a regular TS909 or a TS808 or whatever. And it also has an attack knob, which allows me to cut out extra low end, which is really, really cool. And then for the back, the tuner splits the back and everything, and the Borton goes into the back of the pedal. And then this goes all the way over here to a Boss Chorus Ensemble, which is what I use for cleans and leads and stuff. And then that goes into a DD7 digital delay for delay pedal. You know what I mean? Oh, and also, I'm so sorry, I completely forgot to mention this. Altoids, because I throw it at you people with your stank-ass breath, but it's actually my picks, because you kind of need that to play guitar. And then obviously my channel switcher, I switch between the green, blue, and red, then I turn my effects loop on and off and everything. But yeah, that's basically my pedal board. So I guess we'll go to the amp, which is a little guy. It's the baby version of Han's amp. It's the EVH 5150 350 watt. I love this amp to death just because it's not huge and it's really light, and I get to just kind of pick it up and down and stuff like that. It's a super, super solid amp. There's a lot of different things I can do with it genre-wise. The clean channel is fantastic, the blue channel is really, really cool, and obviously the red channel is super aggressive and like really in your face. It's pretty self-explanatory. The green and blue channels share the same EQ effects. So for the green, gain is kind of back a little bit, low end is kind of dialed back a lot because this thing with the orange provides a lot of extra low end, which is kind of insane. Mid just scoot back a little bit, then also the highs are kind of in between 3 and 4 o'clock just because I like a lot more dark tones. And then, yeah, the volume is obviously, you know, as per venue request. But that's the green channel. The blue channel, once again, the EQ settings are the exact same. So I kind of actually throw the gain all the way up just because the blue channel isn't typically a rhythm channel. I kind of like blast my tube screamer and my compressor, and that in tandem with everything else like really makes a super aggressive sound. I typically play on the blue channel just because it has a lot more girth and a lot more pick attack, which is really cool. But yeah, and then after the blue channel, for the red channel, obviously just for leads, kind of dialed the exact same way, obviously just not as much gain. But yeah, I love darker tones. I love a little bit more mid-heavy tones as well. And then the presence knob obviously acts as like a hiss knob essentially. So once again, that is dialed back a little bit. That in tandem with this, I use a PPC 4x12. Got some V30s in there, which is kind of like the classic integral part of, you know, heavy music essentially. But I've always loved orange cabs and how they sound and everything. Like I love like the British tone. So it's super, super like sub heavy, which is really awesome. So it kind of really emphasizes like the chugs and like the breakdowns and everything. But yeah, I love this cab to death. Obviously, once again, not as heavy as like Mesas and stuff like that, but it's a freaking workhorse. It's like the AK-47 of cabs. But yeah, I love it to death. So that's basically my rig. So yeah, you can find all of our music on Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, literally whatever you use. I hate omerta.com/live if you want to come out to a show and buy some tickets. We have an album or an EP called Hyperviolence, and we also just recently dropped a single called Antiamorous. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.